welcome to the Red Room. This is our weekly news update. And before I let Miguel show you the next book, there's something we need to talk about. So
There's something we need to
people
talk
have
about.
been, yes,
It's a
yes, yes,
serious thing.
yes, we need to tell you something really, really serious and important. So please pay attention. Well, a lot of people complain about our audio. We
Yes.
actually have, well, they should be good mics. They are expensive at least. I think the
Yes, that's
problem
true.
is the
This fucking
acoustic.
thing is a blue Yeti. So, and
I don't
yours,
know what is
I
the
don't,
other one that I get. I know. Uh,
I don't know,
What
but it's
is the one that
it's
what?
something that someone recommended. So
Yes.
we
Uh,
purchased the mics that you recommend. Well, I don't know. The Yeti probably wasn't recommended. But there's a thing here. We have, as you can see, the floors are wooden floors. So the acoustics aren't that good, and we are not going to change that just because
yes. Well, I
you're
love my bare wooden floors more than I care about them more than I care about your ears.
well.
So
And then there's
sorry.
another thing because the other thing is just technical inadequacy, and we didn't do some stuff as we should have done. So and probably we'll keep on not doing it.
Continue not doing.
Well, I'm this is placed here, so it's probably in the right place. Sometimes it
And I
wasn't.
have an annoying voice anyway.
There's also a problem that our voices are different, obviously, and so sometimes if I try to correct the sound when I'm editing the video, it will be weird.
Yeah, but
Um,
the house, so our apartment echoes a lot. So
yeah,
that is the
yeah. It's not just the wooden floor. It's also because there's not much furniture and the rooms are larger, and yeah, that's it. So it echoes. So we have echo, and also possibly also some technical issues that we could solve, but we can't because I'm not going to waste too much time on that. Okay, so
or
if
more time on that. So
yeah, so
let's
if you keep
continue.
bothering me with that, I will just go back to headphones because that corrects the problem. So we if we use headsets for videos, I'll just use this the microphones when we are playing because that's when we are more longer and then the headsets are very uncomfortable when you spend, well, you know, of course everybody
I
knows.
know. Yes,
Yeah,
everybody
wearing
knows.
an headset is kind of annoying after a bit, but for doing videos, not really. So if people keep complaining, and I think the worst was when we are doing videos in the same place. That's why
Because our
we are
voices are
now
too
buying.
different.
Yeah, because that, yeah, and then the microphone. I don't think this one is good for that. I'm not sure
So you
about
need a specific microphone. So when we are
probably yes,
both,
because
and I
this
think we
this is
need to
so
take
this is
the.
supposed to capture sound. There's a setting to capture sound from both sides, but I don't think it works there that good. So that well.
We're not going to transform the storage unit in a studio. No. So
Yes,
the
well,
acoustics would probably be better there, but no, that's not going to
probably
happen.
yes. It's a bit dark in there.
Yes.
Um, okay, so that's the very important subject. The other one is I love Shadow Dark. Always loved it. I've been a fan since I was a boy. Um, and now
I've been a
let's talk
fan
about.
since I was a boy, also.
Yes, you were. She was a boy as well. Yes, that's true. Okay, so let's talk about unimportant subjects. One of them is not one of them. It's just one. We have only one new subject, and the new subject is I was doing a new layout for Wretched Darkness, an update, not just a layout, an update. And it probably was released today. I'm doing the video yesterday, which is today, but for you it's yesterday. So for you, and I mean the viewers, not you.
I know.
So this was probably released today, unless something happened, and then in that case, it was 2 days ago that
Maybe
I.
being released as you see this video.
Yes. Okay. So anyway, let's show the new look of this book. Um, let's see. Okay.
It's all black and white because
Yes,
you
so
you took some
that's
inspiration from Shadow Dark.
yes, of course. Now I'm doing everything black and white. No, not really, but there's a reason for that. There are two reasons. One is because I wanted to do a new layout, and I wanted you to notice that I have done a new
Mhm,
layout. If I just use what I used in the first one, which was photographic style
mhm,
images, you would think that it was basically the same. So I decided, okay, let's do something different, and this time, and because it's horror, black and white works.
mhm,
Also because if you are going to buy it in print, it will be cheap this way.
mhm.
Black and
Cheaper.
white is also cheaper. Okay, so new cover. I was thinking about again commissioning a cover, but Jeremy Hart was not available at the moment, and Jay Tanaka wouldn't Jay Tanaka's work wouldn't work in here for this one. So, and I didn't want to pay anyone else now, so fuck it. I used AI again, and it's nice. It's also it's
Mhm,
the same team. It's again the benefit of the pro. Okay, so the changes. Well, the first thing you'll notice is it's black and white. There are
mhm.
some other changes, I can guarantee. I
The
don't know.
style of the illustrations, of course, because
The
now it's black
style
and white.
also. This one is not used, so this is a previous version. I'm showing not
Mhm,
the the version that I'm going to release or that I've released already. But it's just a couple of changes, a couple of images that were changed. The rest is it's the same. So the first thing it's black and white. The other thing I corrected some mistakes and
and
some
probably created new ones, but that is
very
part
likely
of
yes.
the thing.
But I corrected some stuff. I
You
corrected.
there is no there is no background image, so people will not complain about it that it hurts their
Yes,
eyes.
I didn't use a background image. There's an evil nun here. Okay, so the content doesn't change that much.
Mhm,
It starts with a large section about styles, not just so different styles of play. Uh,
mhm,
Mature horror, psychological horror, which is probably the most important, and dark urban fantasy. These are the big ones. Uh, and because this game is can be played in both ways, so you can play
mhm,
it as a horror game like Darker, or you can play it like a dark urban fantasy, not like Darker.
mhm,
Darker, it's not supposed to be played as a vampire or werewolf or whatever. Loup Garou in this case, or vampire. So these are the two options, and then there are some other things. This is what we are sharing now.
mhm.
It's
Cannibals and zombies.
yeah, no, not just that, but
That's where, yeah,
this is a
yeah. I've
chapter
seen
about
cinematics. Yes,
movie style, movie
yes, cinema. That's
genres.
what I was
Yeah,
looking
movie
at. Yep.
genres, different movie genres. Some are
Mhm,
for horror, some are for dark urban fantasy, and some are for sci-fi horror fantasy. But as a rule, this is a late 20th century setting, most likely to be played in the 80s or 90s.
mhm,
Um, if you want to play 2000s, I would say that Darker is probably better, especially if it's a current day thing. Now, there were some changes besides the layout and besides doing some corrections, the stuff I found. Um Not really. I didn't
mhm,
find that much. So a few typos, most of that, and some titles and formattings that were not really well done. Those were added. I added some fluff reports in character reports from the police and that kind of thing. I also added new rules, alternative rules in this case.
mhm.
One of
From
them
Darker.
was the alternative fear rules, which are exactly, I didn't change anything. This is exactly the rules used for fear in Darker, and I would
We have been having fun with them. Yeah,
yeah,
that is
I
true.
recommend. I highly recommend these ones. The first ones were inspired by I'd say Call of Cthulhu and Cult. These ones were inspired by Alien and their panic mechanic. But in this case, it's not exactly the same thing. But it's so you have points that you get from watching or interacting with abnormal things. It can be supernatural or paranormal or just violence, extreme violence. So you'll gain fear points, and when they reach a certain score, you will start having to roll for your wits. So it's a different way of dealing with fear. And another thing that was added was magic. So
Mhm.
this game already had two different ways of dealing with magic. It has the rituals that in the meantime they were used in all games, so the same rituals. Um, it also contains this thing here that's the spiritual beliefs and magical traditions, which applies so the same rituals but distributed in a different way. So instead of having those conjurer traditions like cybermancer, dream magician,
Mhm, mhm.
necromancer, traditional magician, and sex magician, and all that, you have real world traditions. In this case, they are beliefs. They are not exactly magical beliefs. They are religions or sects like Candomblé and Kabbalah, Satanism, and Voodoo, of course, and Wicca,
Mhm.
but also the fully alternative because this was new. Well, not exactly, not entirely new because they were published in Darker, but these are also different rules. I think the rituals are also the same, but the way of handling the magic is a little bit different, and I think I prefer this one.
It's
Uh,
simpler.
yeah, it's simpler. Um, it's skill based instead of I'm not sure what I should call the other one. Well, the other one is not skill based. This one is skill based. The other is
Another.
more complicated in this case. So it's level based, more level based, and but since Darker has no levels, in this case, still the it's based on skill levels and not character levels. But it requires a skill rule, and I think I prefer it because of that. So it makes it easier to. So each ritual
Mhm.
has a target number which you have to meet or roll above, so you can use the ritual in an effective way, not just you can prepare the ritual, but it doesn't. If you fail the rule, it won't have any effects in the real world. The rest of the book is mostly the same thing. So you have besides the rules changes, you have the setting. The setting has lots of content about the beyond. Um, a description of creatures in the beyond. Some of them are were new at the time, not new anymore because they have been used in other things. Um, entities, large entities, the major ones, and also the minor ones like the Apostles of Pain and the Sicari. Uh, and also a kind of a geographical description of the beyond. So even though the beyond is also changing, it's never the same thing. But there are some areas that tend to be similar. So in kind of, in terms
Like
of what they look like.
realms. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have this is one of them, the Wretched Wasteland, which is the kind of a desert. Then there's Derelict City, which is a large city with different boroughs, 7 boroughs. Um, and then you have other places like the Darkwoods and the Dreamlands and Tinselland, which is where Elstone, the city from Wretched Country, is located. And a bunch of other things. I've
Mhm.
used
Factions.
illustrations. Yeah, the factions, long descriptions of the factions. I've used illustrations from darker.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, these ones, so the illustrations that Jeremy did for darker.
Mm-hmm.
These creatures in darker are not exactly the same thing, but the illustrations are adequate because they look like the same. So I've used these ones and also the ones you did for the Apostles of Pain as well. Okay, so this is basically the same thing. So you have a city as well, which is Amatville,
Mm-hmm.
the city that
Emmetsville,
was
our first
introduced.
city.
Yeah, the first city. It was introduced for Vigilantes, but it was expanded for
Mm.
Wretched
Well,
Darkness.
it had already been mentioned in other scenarios, but not described.
Yeah, not really described. The other thing that's new, well, not really new, but it wasn't in this book, was the rules reference, and I think that I'm going to start using this, attaching this to the end, to the appendix, when the book is large as this one, 20 or not 20, no, it's about 15 more pages are
Mm-hmm.
not really a big problem. So if you are using a 500 pages book, I guess you don't want to have the core book there as well. So the rules reference will probably be handy in this case. You can just check the main rules for the game, unless you are looking for some kind of detail. But I think this will make it easier. If you just want to check something quickly, you can just go to the rules reference and
Yeah,
uh, and
probably a
that's
good idea.
okay. So we've shown mostly what this contains. As in the other cases, I'm going to make, or I've done that already. I've made it available for people who have purchased
Mm-hmm.
Wretched Darkness. I will, because that's not yet done. I will also make available the print files if you have bought it in PDF, and that means that if you bought it in PDF or before, you can also print it now.
Mm-hmm.
The print files are better for that. And if you have purchased it in print, you can contact me if you don't have the access to the store, because some people buy only in print. So if you want to have access to the PDF, you can also get the print files, and you don't have to print it through us. I mean, buy the book.
You can use it,
You
yes.
can
You can
use it to
get
print it
it on
yourself if you
Lulu
can.
you
If you
don't
can
have
do
to
that
buy.
at Lulu, it's not complicated. You can just choose to print a book, not publish, just print. And then there are options to upload two files, the cover file and the interior file. They are prepared, so you don't have to do anything else. You just have to choose the options below, which are colors, and in this case, it's black and white, so, and type of paper, and the I don't know if what's it called in English.
Binding.
No, not that. The paper weight. It's probably not weight. The paper quality.
Mhm.
We call it gramagem in English. I don't know what's it called. Anyway, that's the quality. So it's 60 grams or 80 grams, I think. The options. So that's it. You and of course we'll make it available as a print book at Lulu if you want to buy it from us and pay us uh,
Mhm.
our part of it, our share, our commission. This it will also be less expensive because
Because
even
it's
though
black
it's
and
a
white.
500-page book, it's black and white. So I'll make it available there, of course, and the other one will be there as well because it's not. It's
People
not.
may want to
Yeah,
people may prefer
if you
the color
prefer
version.
if you prefer the illustrations in color, it's a bit more expensive, but it will be there as well because the layout in this one is not really bad. It's not like I wasn't appalled at the work
Mhm.
at this layout. It was just to make it less expensive because it's a 500-page book and it can kind of gets a little bit. And we get nothing from that. It's just
Mhm.
you are paying Lulu for their printing quality, not to us. So why not have? If I had a week to spare doing this, why not
Mhm.
have it in black and white as well? And I probably do it in a different in for different cases as well. I'm not going to do that for New Flash because New Flash
No,
would
doesn't make
work.
sense. The Flash
It would make
needs
sense. So,
color.
but I'm going to do a new version of New Flash later. The difference it will be not digest, but and also the rules will change. So the simpler rules that we used for darker, which are the next thing I'm going to do just the rules. So that's the next thing. Be ready for that. I'm going to publish um, a new set of rules, smaller
They
and
don't have a name yet,
they don't have. That's another thing. If you want to recommend a name, these are the rules that were used for darker. They are
and
not
will be
quite on
used
the
for other
server.
games.
And yes, so as I'm going to work in those games next, first I'm going to release the books, the course rules for that new system, which has no name yet. If you want to help us name it, leave a comment. I don't know how to ask for it because it was used for darker, but it has nothing to do with horror. I mean, yes, it has. It's realistic. It's or more realistic than Wretched because it has no levels, so it is also not quite OSR. It's almost the same thing in other ways. The fear rules are different, as we mentioned before. The magic rules are different.
They're supposed to
All
go
the
to
other
full
rules are the
magic.
combat rules are streamlined as well, and there are some small changes. But mostly it's that it's the characters don't evolve uh, to be heroes, I guess. Just
Yes, they don't. They don't
well,
level up.
yeah, not a lot. So you get the experience points that you can use to improve skills, but it's not the same thing as leveling up. Okay, so if you have purchased Wretched Darkness, you can now get the new update for free. If you haven't, well, maybe you can try it now because it's different
Mhm.
and black and white if you
And
prefer
if you
black.
didn't get it in print because it's too
Yeah,
expensive, now you can get it
yeah. So yeah,
this
it
cheaper
will.
version.
I can't tell you right now how much cheaper it will be, but probably less than $10 or something like that. Okay, that's enough for today. Bye bye.
Okay, bye bye, folks.